Hi everyone, and welcome to TxRvAdventures instructional video. My name is Brittany, and behind the camera I have Miss Lauren helping me today go through the tour of this 2021 Thor motorhome we call Winnie. We're going to go over the inside and the outside instructions. Feel free to stop the video at any time, take notes, refer back to it while on your trip, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask them at pickup. We're going to start on the driver's side where we have all of our connections and where we suggest that you start when you get to the campground. What we like to do is take all of our connections out of the storage, place them on the ground here before sliding out the RV. It makes it easier to get to all of these under storage compartments. In this storage right here, you're going to have the electrical. One end is going to screw on to the RV. Right here, like this. And the other side is going to plug into the campground. Be sure that the breaker on the campground is off. Plug it in, then flip it back on. You'll know you have power coming into the RV when the microwave shows the time clock. That way you can know when to turn on the air conditioning, television, and all of your power outlets will have power. Remember to turn the major appliances off before unplugging the vehicle from the campsite. Just above it right here, we have a coax cable. This is for cable television that may be at some of your parks. We do not provide a coax cable, but if you want to connect to the campground's cable, bring about a roughly 20-foot coax cable. There is a digital antenna on the roof. That way if you forget to bring this, you will still get local channels from our antenna. Next, we're going to talk about water. There are two places where the water hose will connect on this model. First is the city water connection. Connect the elbow here to the RV and the other side with the pressure regulator to the fixture at the RV park. Once you turn the water on, water will come into the RV, but never filling the freshwater holding tank. This just allows it to come in as you open the fixtures, and the regulator will reduce high pressure coming into the RV. On the other side, we'll show you where you fill your freshwater holding tank. That will be full when you pick up the RV, and it'll be located on the other side. This will be for when you use your water pump and your water in travel. Next, we're going to go through some of the storages here. This one will be your septic storage. Another small storage in the back. And two more here. Just above this storage, Lauren's going to show you there is an outside shower as well to hose off after you're done with the next section, which is going to be how to use your sewer and septic. All of these storages do have locks. You can lock them up, and they all have lights on the inside. So if you are parking at night, makes it easier to get in here and look around. This large compartment here with the door that goes down has your two tanks. There are some heating pads on these tanks here for if you are going to colder weather. This is going to warm up the tanks. One on the right here is your gray. That's for your sink and shower. That's the smaller pipes, the 1-inch. On the left is the black, which is your toilet water, which is the 3-inch pipe. They feed together here in the center, and what you'll do is you'll take the end that looks like this that has a sewer gasket and give it a 1/4 of a turn, connecting it onto this pipe. So you're going to come up from the bottom and take the cap off and connect it on here. Once you are secure here, you're going to take the other end. Looks like this. You're going to put that into a PVC pipe in the hole in the ground, either at your campsite or a truck stop, dumping the septic. So make sure both of these are in their place first before we pull any of the valves. Once you're connected here, you've got the two handles never to be pulled at the same time. We like to operate one at a time so that we don't have any backflow. If you're at a campground for a long period of time, feel free to open this gray, leaving it open, so that the shower water doesn't back up on you. And you're using the sink uses a lot of water as well, so we like to leave this open. When you notice that your black is full with the sensor inside, close your gray. Pull the black handle and let all of the pressure from the full tank push out any of the toilet paper or any of the waste down through the hose. Once you're finished here, you can open this one back up again. The night before you leave, we suggest that you close both the black and the gray, let them get full, and then before you leave that next morning, dumping this time the black first, rinsing everything out, closing it, and then washing your sewer line with the gray soapy water before you place it back in the storage. All of our RVs are going to come with a little bit of chemicals in these tanks. We have about a quarter of a tank worth of chemicals, so it'll slosh and clean while you're driving. If you're on a longer trip, we suggest going back inside before you disconnect your fresh water and fill a little water into the black tank by putting your foot on the toilet pedal, putting a little bit of dish soap inside, and then maybe running it for a minute and filling this back up. And as you drive, it'll kind of swirl around and clean that tank for you. And then when you get to your next site, you start all over again. We ask that when you bring the RVs back that you dump both of the tanks. Next, we'll go over our generator. The generator is located just behind the driver door and just past the exhaust. On the generator, we have a start and stop button here, which can also be started and stopped on the inside. Before using the generator, make sure that you do have a full tank of gas. This gas tank is a 55-gallon gas tank. We suggest if you're going to be boondocking that you top off before starting the night, and that way it doesn't turn off through the night. If you want to check your oil, your dipstick is right here. Make sure that the RV is level and that the generator is cooled off. This allows the oil to have time to cool down so that you can properly check the fluid levels. Right now it's very clear, but it's hard to see. There's a fill and an add. As long as it's full here and you're not in the add, you don't need to add any additional oil. We just like to check it every 10 to 15 hours. In higher elevations or when it's hotter in the summer, these generators will burn through a little bit more oil, so we need to check them. All of our motorhomes do come with additional oil that is going to be in one of your storage compartments. Right here we have the altitude adjustment. Right now we're at sea level here in Houston, but if you happen to go into Colorado or anywhere that has a higher altitude, you're going to need to adjust this, giving the generator more fluid. It's going to require more oil, more of the gas to start. You may find that the generator doesn't start in higher altitude unless you come out and adjust it. When you go back down towards sea level, make sure that you do drop this back down again to adjust it. The generator produces power for the major appliances when you're in travel or boondocking. There is a small breaker just behind the start button here. And if the major appliances aren't turned off before you stop the generator, the next time you go to start this generator up, it is going to have too much load on it and it could possibly trip this breaker. So if you find that the RV has the generator on and you can hear that it's on, but you're not producing power and don't have power to the microwave, please come outside, check this breaker as well as any breakers on the inside of the coach. Be sure to always put the cover back onto the generator once you're done checking and going through any kind of maintenance. Let's talk about the specs of this motorhome. The length of it is 33 feet and the height of it is 12 feet. We like to go over the height of the motorhome because we worry about any sort of tree scratches, and we like to let people know to swing nice and wide, always filling gas if possible at a truck stop. This is where we see the most damage, is to the back of the motorhome. You have a backup camera here So that way when you're backing up into the campground space, you can see behind you if you're towing a vehicle, any bike racks or anything that will attach to the hitch here, you'll be able to view in the rear view camera. This will automatically come on when the RV is in reverse. You also have right and left turn signal cameras on your mirrors. So that way you can see on each side, making in your blind spots. That way you'll be able to see on there. Down below here, we do have the hitch. Lauren, what is the hitch capacity on this, the weight?
The tow capacity is 8,000 pounds.
Okay, so 8,000 pounds. If you need a tow dolly, a flat tow, or you'd like to tow a golf cart behind it, we do allow that. We have a tow fee. Just let us know and we can unlock this hitch for you and help determine which ones will fit, which, if maybe not this RV, but a different RV, what size is best for you. Then down below, we've got our stabilizing jacks. These are hydraulic jacks, and they are going to self-level the motorhome. Right now, I do have them down. They need to be dropped down before you slide out the motorhome. So right now, I have them slid out. I have them dropped down. We'll show you where the panel is on the inside and how to operate that. Next is the ladder here. There is nothing up top, just air conditioning and maintenance, okay? The roof is very slippery. In the summer, this has 2 air conditionings and they produce a lot of condensation, which will drip down on the side of the motorhome. So we ask that you don't go onto the roof. Lauren's going to show you inside here. This is the largest storage compartment that we have on this side. And it has the camp chairs that we provide inside, as well as some leveling blocks. Up next, this is where the fresh water fill is. So you use that same hose and you stick the elbow end on the inside here, and the other side is still connected to the faucet fixture at the campsite or your home or wherever you're filling. And you'll know that this is full when
water comes shooting out of the hole.
Yeah, the water will come shooting out the hole at you, and then you know to pull it out and stop filling. Okay, this is totally normal. There is also a level gauge on the inside of the RV to tell you when it's time to fill. This is where your fuel is. This is regular gas only, please. Again, 55-gallon tank. This is for the generator as well as the engine. A quick connect if you would like to share the propane for a barbecue grill. We also rent barbecue grills and have exterior tanks. Storage right here. Really nice. They have lights inside there and the locks. Back of the refrigerator, and then you've got the exhaust for the furnace. This is going to be hot anytime it is powered on. You have power outlets on the outside. These are GFCI outlets. These are wet outlets. So if they do get wet in any way, it's raining a lot, it senses any moisture, they're going to trip, and we'll show you how to reset that on the inside. Next, the only door compartment that does not have a lock on it, this is going to be for your propane. The size of this propane tank is a 41-pound tank, and it'll come full when you pick up the motorhome. This is the off, stop, and open switch, right? So this is closing it and opening it. It'll come to you open. Leave it open for any reason. If you need to shut it off, this is where your quick shut off is. This is where you fill it. It gets filled with a licensed professional, a U-Haul, a truck stop, and some really nice campgrounds even have it where you can fill there. We also fill it here at our facility if you need us to fill it here. This is where the truest reading of how much propane is in your tank. There is a reading inside, but this is always the best gauge to come out and view directly at your tank. Some things that this tank is going to be providing the power source for. So you've got the furnace, the stovetop, as well as your hot water heater. This is an all propane instant hot water heater. So they tend to use a little bit more propane than other models. Yeah, we really like the instant hot water heaters. They do use this propane though. Next, we're going to take a look at the awning. This has a light strip on the outside, which has a button on the inside of the door. And this has a rocker switch to control this going in and out. If you'd like to move this in and out, make sure that the key is out of the ignition before touching the switch. Otherwise, it will not move. They don't want you to be able to touch the switch and open it in travel. Okay? We suggest that you bring it in if it's really windy, raining, if you go to sleep at night, or if you're out for the day and you're not with it, bring it in, roll it back out when you get back to your campsite. Some storage right here. The only compartment here that is still locked up, this is for your hydraulic jack system. So there's really nothing to do in there. There's no maintenance required. We'll do all that. Again, cameras right here for your blind spots. Going to the front, we do have easy tags on the windshield. This is for Beltway 8, 99 Hardy Toll Road, anywhere in the state of Texas. And we ask that if you do travel outside the state, turnpikes, bridges, anywhere else, we ask that you stop, pay those tolls separately. They won't be covered. Last but not least is our tires. All 6 of the tires will have these monitors on them that will tell you the pressure in real time for all of the tires. As you're in motion, it'll detect whether they're getting hot, cold, or we have any sort of a leak in them. So if it's a cold day, they're going to be a little cooler. And if it's a warmer day, they're going to expand a little bit. They may expand just a smidge, but that's okay. Keep going. If you notice that it gets too high or too low, pull over and take a look at them. We do have a monitor on the dash that will show you that. Now, we'll take a look at the inside of the RV. The control panel to the RV is just inside the door. To the left here, we've got your main control panel, which has your generator, your level gauges, as well as some of your slide outs and your jacks panel. First, we're going to talk about starting and stopping the generator. Press and hold the stop down, priming the generator for 30 seconds, providing fuel to the generator. The time clock here shows how many hours are on it. We'll take a reading when you pick up the motorhome and then when you bring it back. Once you've primed it, press and hold the start button. Press and hold until you hear it turn over. Once it's turned over, you can let go. You'll know you have power coming into the coach because there will be a beep that'll come on from your microwave, as well as you'll see power coming to your microwave. That's when it's safe to turn on the TV and both of the air conditionings. Again, remember to turn off all the appliances before stopping. Here are the level gauges. You've got your propane levels, your battery, fresh water fill. This is for your holding tank. That's on the passenger side. Your toilet, which is your black and septic, and gray, which is your sink and shower. Keep an eye on these, checking them once a day. Next, we have our water pump. When the light turns red, the water pump is on. Please be sure that you only turn the pump on when you're sure you do have fresh water in the tank. We want to make sure we don't pump it dry. When you're at an RV park, go ahead and turn it off. It's either plugged in at the park to the fresh water hose where it says city connection, or using the water pump in travel. So one or the other. Next, we saw the tank heater pads outside. This is where you turn them on. So you've got the on. This is only during freezing weather. So only in the winter months we need to turn those on. Next is your slide out button. We'll go over this just a moment. First, before sliding out, we need to drop the self-leveling jacks. This requires the engine to be on and the parking brake to be set. Once those are both done, press the power on button and you'll see the panel light up here, and just press and hold auto level for about 3 seconds. Then you'll see that it'll start to do a leveling process on the screen here. And once that process is complete, you'll see jacks are down. We suggest that you stay still, don't move in the coach when they are self-leveling. It's best to have everyone out of the RV when this process is happening. When you want to retract the jacks, when you're ready to leave, all you need to do is turn the panel on and press and hold the retract button, making sure that the slide in is in position before lifting them up. So when we're setting up, drop the jacks, then slide out, and then everything in reverse when you're leaving. Slide in the motorhome, then retract the jacks. So once the jacks are done, we'll go up to the slide out. There is only one slide out on this motorhome. Engine needs to be in the off position, removing the keys out of the ignition, and then press and hold extend when you want to go out, and press and hold retract when you want to come in. Extend it back out. Now this does run on the batteries as well. You don't have to be plugged in to operate these features. They can all run on your battery. Next, this tells you how much power and where you're getting your power source from. So right now I'm getting my power source from the generator. There's no reason to really ever mess with these. This just tells us where our power is coming from. Next, this is the air conditioning panel. I have powered on the generator, so now I can go ahead and turn on the air conditioning and adjust the temperatures. We suggest that you don't dip below 65. We don't want to freeze the air conditioning. It'll freeze the coils and stop the compressor from cooling, and it'll freeze the coach. You'll see that it'll create some ice up there. Next, you've got your heat. Just push this button all the way to the right and then adjust the heat. This furnace is using propane. This is one of 2 control panels for the air conditioning. The second is in the master bedroom. Next, we're going to talk about the switches that are at the entrance of the door here. You've got light switches to the RV, inside and outside switches. The only rocker switch here controls the awning. So really easy. If you notice it starts to pick up, come inside, bring this back in. This is your main power button. Leave this on all the time. No reason to ever turn this off. This is just for when you're storing a vehicle. And this tells us how much our battery has. So how much power is in our batteries. Next, we're going to talk about the batteries. Your house batteries are located just below the step here inside this compartment. Okay, there are 2 batteries here, and these batteries are going to control the lights while you're in travel. They're also going to work the water pump, and they're going to work the refrigerator. This refrigerator is all electric, and that will run on these batteries while you're driving down the road. Next, we're going to talk about some of the safety features to the RV. This is the fire extinguisher we have here just at the entrance of the door. Next is the smoke detector just above the door here. And the carbon monoxide detector is just inside the RV underneath the dinette. This is for if your generator, if it senses a propane from your cooktop or anything like that, this is going to alarm. So keep an eye on all of these. And that'll be it for the batteries and safety features. Our kitchens are fully stocked. We do have all the kitchen items here. Cups, plates, bowls, utensils, as well as all of our cooking items. Can openers, wine openers. For a full list of everything that we put in the RVs, please visit our website. We've got that on there. Really big microwave. This doubles as the oven. Just below we have the propane cooktop. We do have an induction as well. In this model, we only have pots and pans for the propane. If you have induction pots and pans, feel free to bring them with you on your trip. To light it, press down until you hear the spark, and then the flame will ignite, then adjusting the temperature. There are the 2 burners there. Just below us here, we have some cabinet space. We have mixing bowls, and all of the pots and pans are here, as well as cutting boards. We have a power tower here, USBs, regular power outlets. Put your coffee maker up here, as well as your toaster, your sink, big sink, huge, very huge. And then these covers go onto it. It adds for a little bit more prep space here. Coffee makers down below. These are for K-cups as well as coffee grounds. Just on the other side, we have really large pantry space above and to the side of the refrigerator. This is a residential refrigerator. We've got a really large freezer. Adjusting the temperature is on the back wall. And then a really large refrigerator. Some drawers there, again, adjusting the temperatures at the top. This refrigerator runs on the battery when you are in travel. So when you're ready to take your trip and you're in motion, you're going to flip this switch to the battery position. Or when you're standing still and let's say you go inside to go do some shopping or you go do a hike, you can put it on the inverter for a few hours, which is going to use this battery, making sure that you turn the inverter in the on position. When you get parked and you do plug this RV into the 30 amp outlet at your campsite, or you're powering the generator, turn this in the down position and then turn off your inverter. You're going to hear it power down. Okay? But don't forget, when you are ready to travel again and you're not having that generator on, be sure to flip this back into the up position and on. We don't want the fridge to defrost. Next, Lauren's going to show you to our right here, bunk beds. Really cool feature about this one, has some drawers down below. She's going to show you there's a DVD player in each bunk. And privacy curtains, which the kids really like. Master bedroom has storage up top, as well as a cabinet and closet to the right here with a television in the master bedroom. So that's something we don't see all the time, is having a TV. Tons of drawers here for your belongings. Your breaker box is located in the master bedroom just below the bed in the hallway. This controls your microwave, your air conditioning, main, and any of your major appliances. So if anything stops working for any reason, just come here, check that these don't need to be reset. If you reset these and you're still having issues, go outside and check the breaker at the RV site. A lot of times those breakers can trip when they get overloaded. Please go out there and check those as well. Next, you have some fuses for your smaller things, water pumps, lights, and switches. These are really common fuses you can pick up anywhere. We're going to show you all the storage here with all the bedding in the master bedroom. All of these blinds do pull down here, giving you privacy, okay? And then they just pull right back up. It's also really important to note that in the summer, we want to make sure that we keep them down during the hottest part of the day. It'll help keep the camper cool. Here's your second air conditioning panel. So adjusting, turning this panel on right here, and then adjusting your temperature. You have outlets, USBs, and if you need to plug in a CPAP machine, you've got this as well. Moving into the bathroom. This has a really cool feature. You can enter the bathroom from two spaces. So either coming from the hallway or coming from the master. Right here has our shower with the glass doors. So we're going to back up so I can show you for reference how big it is. I'm 5'4". I have a good size in here. This is plenty of space for me to shower and get ready. You have your hot and cold temperatures here. Adjust these. Get yourself wet. Lather yourself and stop the flow of water. Okay, so we want to conserve water in your holding tanks because showers are where you use the most water. So once you're done lathering, start the flow of water back up again, rinse yourself off, then turn off the shower. Lauren's going to show you the cabinet space here. Okay, so you've got all this medicine cabinet here and down below. Up top here, RV toilet paper. So this is septic safe RV toilet paper, and it does come into all of the RVs that we rent. Next, we're going to talk about the restroom. So this has the toilet pedal on the side. Press and hold that pedal down for about 10 seconds after every time you use the restroom. I'm going to lift this up. If you want to partially fill the bowl, just hold down just a little bit and let water flow in, pressing down all the way when you want the water to go down. Now, I don't have the water pump on right now, and that's why you can't see water flowing through. So I'm going to turn on the water pump really quick here, and I'm going to show you how the water moves. So I turn on the water pump on the main panel, then I can fill the bowl. So these come while you're driving with no water in the bowl, so we suggest you put your foot on the pedal, fill the bowl slightly, use the restroom, and then press and hold. We want a lot of water to go in that tank to break down the RV toilet paper. Once you dump the black tank and you close the valve, come back inside. Put dish soap down this and hold the foot pedal down for a few minutes, letting a few gallons of water go back inside the tank. We're going to show you the hot water heater and the GFCI reset. So if you notice that any of your outlets aren't working in the kitchen or in any of the bathroom or outside, come over here and reset this outlet. This is your propane instant hot water heater. Turn the panel on. When you start flowing water, you'll see that there's water going and then it's starting to circulate. Then you see the propane, and that means it's starting to heat the water up. It takes about 30 seconds to get boiling hot water. These are great. I'm going to turn off the water now, and when I'm done, I shut the panel off. It's really important to note that these panels are sensitive, okay? If there's not high enough pressure to this device, it will not kick on. So the way to do that, to get yourself higher pressure, sometimes possibly removing the regulator from the water hose or moving on to your water pump. The water pump provides the highest pressure. That way this will kick on. There's a travel safety lock to the shower. Because this is glass, make sure that you hear the click before you drive away. Okay. We've got a fan and some lights here. This is an exhaust fan in the bathroom. You have a couple other places that have exhaust, such as the kitchen, letting out any bacon smell or the steam in the shower. Before you drive away, close it down. Some additional sleeping spaces are going to be in the living room. The dinette converts into a bed. Just move this lever and shimmy this down. Okay. Once you get it down low enough, remove these cushions and place this flush right here onto this wood panel. Then take the cushions from the back and place them down. This will create a full-size flat bed. There are 2 seatbelts at the dinette table. On each side they have one, as well as Lauren's going to show you on this model, it does have the car seat safety lock on this one, on the forward facing seat. Next we have the jackknife sofa where we have 1, 2, and 3 seatbelts here. Okay, so 3 seatbelts. This converts into a jackknife sofa, much like a futon. The seatbelts are bolted to the ground. Okay, so they're bolted down, and this gives you extra storage down here. To make this into a bed, you got to be strong. Hold tight here. Lauren's going to help me. There we go. All right. Lays flat. Okay, you can push those seat belts down, and depending, one adult, maybe 2 kids can sleep on this. Okay, lift. And we do have all the bedding for all of the beds. Next is the upper queen bed. In this model, it does have the net that provides a clip so you can get into the bed, but that way kids can't fall out at night. So that's a cool feature in this one. They have their own TV, so you have a TV in the master and a TV for this upper bed. When you get parked, you'll need to scan for channels in every major city. We'll go through how to do that now. Click the menu button and scroll over to channels. Right now we're on air because we are going to use the digital antenna on the roof. If you are using the coax cable, switch to cable. For right now I'm going to go back to air and I'm going to start my auto scan, start scanning. This can take a few minutes to collect channels. Depending on where you're at, you may get just a few. Some places you may get a lot of channels. Just depends how much is in that area. Okay. We're going to show you how to turn off and on the antenna that's on the roof. In this storage compartment just above the sofa, we have a green light here and a button just below it. Press the button and turn it off if you want to use the cable at the park. Turn it on whenever you want to use the antenna on the roof. If you find that you're not picking up a lot of channels, turn it off and back on, do a reset on it. You've got some power here for if you want to plug in a DVD player. If you want to plug in a PlayStation, you have HDMI cables that'll go to the main TV. We suggest that you bring a Roku Fire Stick or any other devices that you'd like to connect to the television. So while this is still scanning, you can see I've already picked up 28 channels. Now we're going to talk about the Wi-Fi in this RV. It does have Wi-Fi and it will be active when the engine is on only. When you stop and you turn the engine off to the RV, please connect to the campground's Wi-Fi. Ours is only in motion and only if we do have signal via cell phone signal. This is T-Mobile. Okay? So right now I've already got 56 channels. I'm going to stop the scan because we don't need to let it go all the way through, but you'll let it cycle through. I'm done here. I'm going to swing this around all the way here. Perfect. Going to the front cab. Much like a standard Ford truck, not much is very different here. We've got our radio. This is your power button. Let's see what we got on. Okay. There we go. Okay, so you've got your main radio. If you'd like to use Bluetooth, click the home button and you've got Bluetooth music, your radio here, and you've got a rear camera. Okay, so when you're driving, this is what the visibility will look like. Watching your tow vehicle, bike racks, or backing up into your campground space. This can stay on while you're in travel. When you want to click out of it, go back to the radio, just tap the screen. We suggest that you turn this off when you're done using it and you've parked the RV. This does drain the battery. Okay. You've got a reset button right here in case you don't turn it off and it does freeze the screen. So just stick a pen in there and reset for about 10 seconds. You've got auxiliary. Inside of here, you've got a little connection for USB. Stick that on there. Perfect. Down below, you have AC, some smoke, some cigarette lighters, USBs here. Next, we've got the tire monitor system. I've got it in here pretty tight. I'm going to shimmy it out. There we go. and this tells you what the pressures of the tires are. So right now my tire pressures are good, and if any of them get too high or become too low, they will start to alarm. If it's just a small amount, go ahead and press the mute button on the back, which is this center button. If they become really low or really high, then pull over to check the pressures. Inside the driver door has the correct pressures for all of the tires. Okay, so I just like to sit that there and watch it. Next, we've got our hazards. Just above the steering wheel here. Your controls to the left are for the mirrors, and then this is for your heated mirrors, so when it's cold out. Okay. Your lights and your dimmer. Down below you have the code reader here that's connected for the Wi-Fi, and then your parking brake is just below there, as well as your hood latch. If you want to block this area off and give yourself some privacy, we do have a privacy curtain that looks like this, has some Velcro on it, and it's going to stick to these Velcro spots just behind these mirrors. So it'll click into here, it'll stick, and then just drop these down to keep them supported. And this will go all the way around the front cab, block any privacy out, keep it cooler. We're going to go over, last but not least, maintenance of the air conditioning. This RV does have 2 ACs, and Lauren's going to pan up to the AC here. How you control these vents tells the air where to go in the RV. So if you'd like it to cool down faster, keep these open. If you want the air to push more towards the vents that are in the bedroom here, up in the ceiling, that's how you get stronger flow to go away from the AC through the ductwork. There are screens that do remove. This is for dust. Okay, so when you are staying in these campers for a long time, you could be out for 2 weeks and you're opening that door a lot, letting a lot of dust in from a desert area. We suggest that you take these down, rinse them off, pat them dry, and put them back in. It helps with keeping the RV cool. Now, because there is 2 ACs, there's going to be 4 filters that will need to be cleaned. Next is our favorite thing, is going over what we love most about the RV. So I'm gonna let Lauren go first.
So my favorite thing about this RV is honestly the amount of storage in here. You have tons of storage above the dinette,
Yeah.
below the dinette.
Right here.
You have a good kitchen. Plus you have that big closet space and drawer space in the master bedroom.
Yeah, lot of storage here, even up top. I mean, this is all empty storage space. So I'll have to say this one sleeps a comfortable amount of people. You've got the bed in the back up here. The bunk beds, or kids love doing the bunk beds. That's a big feature. I'm going to have the camera swing around and show you the privacy door, which I like too. This has a real door in the hallway here. Okay, so if you have someone who snores, you can kind of block some sound, get changed in here, and give yourself privacy with still having a really large family in this motorhome. So we look forward to seeing you at pickup, and thank you.